Off. Ain't going on the beach. Brooklyn in the building. Shout to ATL. Delaware State alumni. Boardwalk Brown. South Stimuli. What we doing, You're man? Now tuned in to No Bars.
Yo.
Another virtual edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, season two is setting off beautifully.
Listen, man.
Beautifully.
Seasons come in evolution, like evolution of change. That's what seasons are.
Listen, we just crossed 7,000 subscribers. we moving up. You know, if we can hit 10K by the end of the year, I'm gonna do like Gilbert Arenas and give out 20,000 pennies.
20,000 pennies of work. I got that.
Oh, yo, we got a new sponsor too. I didn't even tell you about this. Look at this.
Oh, check out the new sponsor.
Yeah, Trinidadian mango peach vodka.
Nice.
So you know what I mean?
This is what you want to do when I'm not in the building. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, but you know,
nice.
As soon as you come back, man, I got you. Yo, we are No Bars Off podcast where we salute, break down hip hop lyrics, and decide if the verses are no bars off. If they didn't take any bars off. Yeah, man. I go by the name of Shy. Stimuli sometimes. It sounds good. It sounds good as hell.
Yeah, the pour sounded nice. The pour sounded real, bro. Jesus Christ.
I got you, bro. I got you next time.
I know you're going to try to drink all of the bottle, too, because you like a baddie.
All right, we taking too long, man. Listen. Today, we got a legend in the building.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Somebody that listen. This is so crazy because when we listen to people, I feel like we were kids. We were teenagers in college.
We were children. I don't feel like we were children. We were children.
I mean, listen, the people that we listened to, they were like heroes, icons. They shaped and molded our existence. You know what I'm saying?
They were larger than life.
It wasn't.
Life. They were.
It's something about playing something in them dorm rooms. Shout out to Delaware State. You know what I mean?
Yes,
something
sir.
about
We'll
playing music in those dorm rooms that I don't know, man. It did
something. It sent you somewhere. It felt like you had to. At one point, you was enjoying music, but at another point, you was repping your hood. You was repping your section because you was repping your state and your city. But
that
then
too.
you had it was a little combination of all that. So you had to add a little extra on it. So you know what I mean? Listen, some of these joints they crafted that period of time. Like I told people all the time, like Wu-Tang framed my whole college existence, and I didn't realize it until I graduated. But you know what I mean? That's just how life goes. But it's certain joints that when you hear them, they stick with you, Paul.
So we love showing our age on this show, and it's okay.
Hey, ain't nothing like it, man. Show your age. Show your age.
This man right here, I want to say he popped up on the Clue tape first, and when I heard him, and it's one thing to have like a smash hit around them times.
Yeah,
it's another thing to have a smash hit and be nice and be respected.
True,
and connect with other legends and people not really to know how you got there. It's like all of a sudden, like this smash record is out, and you're like, wait, where did this guy come from? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, where this guy come from?
And then Philly was on fire at one point.
Philly was on super fire at one point.
Brooklyn got bad cold, and we in Delaware. And everybody, Philly's on fire. I'm about to get me an accent in the beard and act like
I'm about to move. I'm about to move right now. Hey, yo, where you going, fam?
All right, we taking too long, man. Break him in. Let introduce my man, the one and only Tracey Lee, Esquire.
You got to add some claps to this. You got to add some claps to this for that intro. You got to add some claps to that.
I took forever, man. I'm sorry.
No, man, y'all wild. First of all, y'all set me up because y'all both got on this Delaware State Hornets thing going on. Listen, much love for the MEAC. You know what I mean? Y'all set me up, man. I didn't put no Howard gear on, and now I feel like I'm being bombarded and bum rushed.
But listen, here's the funny part of that. This was completely unplanned. That's one. And two, you threw on Howard gear. We might have had a little bit of a problem because my daughter go to Hampton right now, and the AG beef is real. So.
I love it. HBCU all day, man.
All day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And your sister with the clock,
brother.
Yeah, sister with
the clock with my wife.
Yeah, sister with the clock.
Exactly. So it is what it is, man. But how y'all doing, man? Listen,
we good, man.
I've been dying to get on this show. You have no idea, man. I've been a big fan of yours for a minute. I love the way y'all break down the bars. Like this is something that the culture needs, man. So salute to both of y'all. You know what I mean?
We appreciate it, fam. Really,
you have no idea, brother. Like you have no idea how your words, your influence, it shaped us because we were in school. We want to rhyme, and we have no idea how people are getting where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that made it gave us a little glimmer of hope. And while we were studying schoolwork, we were studying rhymes. So trust me, this is a long time coming. Like
we're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. Well, let's start with I want to start with how you got in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take it back.
Well, going back to the Mecca, going back to Howard, man, it was I've been spitting before that. Like I was trying to get deals in high school, like in the mid '80s, you know what I mean? But we used to put demo tapes in the mail, you know what I'm saying? Sending it to Next Plateau and Profile and all these other people. But the tapes was mad ashy. You know what I mean? We did the demo on a play and record on the radio, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. But fast forward, man, it all stems back to Howard, man. That's when I ran into, I met the likes of Derek D. Angeletti and Mark Pitts, and Puff was there, and it was just Hall Pierre, and it was just an energy and a synergy going on at the time, man. So with Mark Pitts getting his deal through, him being an understudy of Puff, and then him finally getting the deal with Boston Universal, D-Dot, who is really my mentor to this day, but he's the cat that kind of told Mark, yo, Trey, get busy. And then, even though me and Mark came in together, but Mark never knew I rhymed. So, D-Dot had to privy him to that. And then, all of a sudden the music started exchanging and things like that. And then, once he got a situation with Boss Storm, then he put me on, and, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's crazy right there.
That's a crazy story. Speaking of history like that, you get into that first project. I was a huge fan of the first project, by the way. Like,
thank you, brother.
From The Man of Many Faces to Stars of the East, like the project is me. I ain't talking about the radio cuts. I'm talking about the joints that's entrenched in the album. So yeah. So like you think back to putting that first project together. I know you had a lot that you wanted to say. Like, what was your mindset going into putting that first project together in terms of who you wanted to work with, like what sound you wanted to have, and like what was your mindset going into putting that first project together?
Honestly, man, it was really, we got put under the gun based off of the single. So, Universal was really like young, especially with regards to hip hop. Like they had no idea how to push hip hop. They just had this label, and they signed a bunch of people. It was myself, it was Cannabis, it was A+, it was the Lost Boys was up under their umbrella, McGruff, you know what I'm saying? So then they signed all of these acts, but never knew how to push hip hop. So basically it was like, record, we're gonna throw it against the wall and see what sticks, right? And so with the theme, that just happened because we had two other records before that. We had this record called Showtime, who is Faith Evans is featured on this record. And then we had another record called I Like It Like That, which was a D'Angelo sample, the lady sample, you know what I'm saying? And we couldn't get that sample cleared because that was really supposed to be the jump off. But, political reasons, and, maybe we'll get into that or maybe not, but political reasons, it never got cleared. So then here comes the theme. Now, the funny thing about the theme is, I'm coming from, in the mid 90s, everybody is spitters. Everybody just like, you know what I'm saying? But the theme was the first record where D-Dot, shout out to him, like he's the super rap coach. This cat, he has recorded with the best of them. He has, schooled the best of them, if you will. Let some of your favorite MCs know that that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he had to kind of coach me on how to attack this particular record. Because the first take on this joint, I'm just like going bar heavy, not let the record breathe, none of that. And he was like, no, Trey, be clever with the bars, but you got to space it out. You got to space it out. So when we finally got it, when I finally got it right, you know what I'm saying? Then the record gets sent around, and I'm gonna put people on blast. Clue was like, nah, that ain't it. Couple other mixtape DJs back then, nah, that ain't it. But then Red Alert got a hold of that record and said, this is a go. And then once he said it was a go, Flex was another one. Nah, that ain't. Once Red said it was a go, everybody fell in line. You see what I'm saying? So because of that record, now Universal's like, all right, we got to hurry up and get the album out, which to me was flawed because nobody knew who I was. They knew this record. They didn't know who Trey Lee was, so Trey Lee wasn't properly set up. But nevertheless, they trying to cash out. They trying to say, okay, cool, this record is hot. Let's get an album out. Let's see if people bite on it because of the record. And so, going back to your original question, the process, 5 of those records on that album were actually a part of my demo. You know what I'm saying? Stars in the East was one of them. Repent was another one. There was a couple of other ones. Who's Crew, that was a part of the demo. The Rugged one, that was another one, a part of the demo. So we kind of had to take some of those records,
piece it together.
Added some new joints, and then that's where the title Many Faces came from, because it was coming in so many different directions. So now we got to market it. You know what I'm saying? We got to package it. So that's where the thought process came from. I know I was a little long-winded, but I had to give you.
No, this is fine.
That's what the platform is for, brother.
Yeah. We like to frame it around the verse, but we couldn't miss this opportunity to ask some of these questions, because you got to think about it. You represented us, and when I say us, I mean the collegiate, educated guys that had smarts that weren't necessarily the street guys. Like, we all come from the street, so we all have experienced the street. But there's a part of us that.
What's funny about that? What's funny? My mother, right? I had a interview on Power 99. And they asked some questions, and they like, so you're a college graduate, da. And my dumb ass gets on the mic and says, but college ain't for everybody. Don't you know? Not 2 seconds when that interview was over, I got a call from my mom on the cell. Don't you ever get on a mic in front of millions of people and tell people college ain't for everybody. Like, that's the perfect platform to promote education. Why would you do that? And from that point on, I never did anything like that again.
But I used to downplay it. So that when I say you represent us, I used to downplay. We all did. We all felt like jail was the measure. You know what I'm saying? And because we weren't necessarily in the street the way that other people that didn't go to college were, we looked to people like you who had many faces. So this segues into my question. I don't want to ask the same old question. How did this song come about? Because I've heard you talk about it before, but I want to know about the chorus for Keep Your Hands High. Like, who decided that this was the theme that you guys were going to approach? Like, was it some fictional thing? Was it yours that was sitting there? Did Big say, "Nah, we're gonna rob people on this song"? Like, what? Like, how did that come about?
Actually, it was my idea, but it spurned from him saying, it was a lyric that Big said, something about "Keep Your Hands High." I think it was on the Jay-Z record.
Keep your hands high. Shit get deeper. Here comes the Grim Reaper. You're right.
Yeah. So when I heard him say that on that record, it just kind of stuck with me in my head. So then the concept came from, that particular bar. I said, you know what, Big? Let's rock. Like, all of these cats, running around here claiming they got this, they got that. Let's put them to the test. We're gonna call you fraudulent because we don't think you got it, right? But if you do got it, run it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is.
Don't right for the time.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And I knew, that was kind of in his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? But I was coming from the, you know what I mean? Like, he's really coming from that, and I'm coming from the, I don't think you got it. So it's like you getting both sides. You know what I'm saying? He gonna stick you if you do got it, and I'm gonna call you bluff because I know you don't got it. You know what I'm saying?
And we didn't get into the second verse where you mentioned, going on toe to toe with legends, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm trying to paint you in that moment, right? Because you going, and you going in your lane, and then he goes in his lane. And at the time, if I'm you, I'm like, shoot, I'm there with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking back, how does it feel? Like, does it feel like, because that's to us, this is one of his greatest verses that he didn't play around. He knew that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew you was official. Like, he ain't give you no corny.
Yeah,
like,
he ain't give you no leftovers on the cutting floor. No. He felt like he had to bring his A game.
Let me tell y'all something. He told me straight up. He said, "You nice, but you coming in second." Straight like that. So what that told me was, oh, you hear me coming. You hear me coming. And that's really that's all the validation I needed. So it's like, even though Big, God rest his soul, he was 2 years younger than me. He was a vet in the game, but I think because I had been, like I told you, I've been trying to get deals since the mid 80s. I felt like I could stand with anybody. So I didn't feel that, oh shit, I'm in here with Big. I felt like, oh shit, I'm in here with Big and we're about to make a banger. But at the same time, I gotta, do what I do and make sure that not only him, but anybody that hears this record feels my presence. And I'm sure he's saying the same thing, because when you were MC, you were MC. That's just the bottom. When you're a real MC, you're a real MC, and that's just the bottom line. It don't matter who's in the room, no matter who's on the mic. It's like, I'm going to do what I do, and y'all got to come see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I wanted to say, you have a record as big as, those two records, The Theme and Keep Your Hands High. And, you kind of get to this point now where, you feel like music isn't as creative as it used to be, things like that. Do you feel the pressure to try to recreate something like The Theme because the record was so big, because it's so timeless, because it's such a, a record that people identify with? Do you feel like, as you're making your newer music, do you feel the pressure to try to recreate that kind of feeling or that kind of sound?
Initially, when I initially got dropped, this was like 2001 to maybe probably about 2005, 6, something like that. I did, because you're chasing that high, you're chasing that rush, you're chasing that, damn, we was there. You know what I'm saying? But after being married, 2 kids, transitioning, pivoting. Nah, man, that was Tracey Lee in 1996, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I haven't evolved since then what the hell am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that a lot of times that's what a lot of artists do. They chasing that high from 20, 30 years ago instead of looking at what's in front of you and moving forward, you know what I'm saying, into whatever it is that you are right now and moving forward into the future. So nah, man, The Theme is the theme. It's gonna be a classic. It is what it is for the time, and even like when I go back and listen to some of the lyrics, some of them joints is dope, but then some of them joints I'm like, my daughter listening to this joint, like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Crack your womb and all that. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Ooh, kind of brutal there, you know what I mean? But I'll never front on it because that's who I was, you know what I'm saying?
It'll rock to this day. So
to this day.
Absolutely. These are great questions, by the way.
Listen, man,
we just getting started, bro.
Right. We got you here. We want to. That's what you're here for.
No doubt.
We want you to tell your story just as what you want your story told. So,
oh man, appreciate y'all, man.
Listen, man.
This is journalism, man. This is listening out there. This is what you call journalism, man. I don't know what they're doing out there right now, but this is journalism, man. So salute again. I'm bearing my soul right now. Let me tell you how it is. This is what happens when you're not from that culture. So you're part from pop culture. Now the fans say you over, then your fam say you over. Now you think they blackballed you cause the income's been altered and promoters stop calling. Now your circle gets smaller. See, they don't check up on you cause you got nothing to offer. Listen, you put your last $7 in the offering. Hey,
Praying that the Lord's willing to barter, cause your credit can't collect another bill like the Carters, but you still move forward. Get chills from the trauma, it's a moment of reflection, but feels far from karma. So maybe the rejection means you need time to ponder. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Okay, when you get rejected means you need time to ponder. That's when you get fitted for your shield and your armor. Now I'm built for the Contras, the will of Black Mamba. I bring an intangible along with entendres. I rap what I feel and push a pill like Big Pharma. The fact that I'm skilled just part of the ensemble. Yeah, see most of y'all been fooled by the numbers, but I salute to those who notice beyond humble. The flow be putting folk on notice beyond humble. The moment that I wrote each opus, but y'all be frontin' though. So it's either develop a thick skin or watch my life spiral like pigskin. So this pen has challenged the system and came out a linchpin. With no feelings involved, I leave it all in the song. Leave it all right.
Yeah, we had to limit it to one verse because I felt like we would have been this would have been an hour long. Yeah, because our minds work differently, man. We just
I know.
Yeah, the way when we hear joints, we don't just hear them, like we kind of absorb them and listen to them, and like the whole joint just got a feel to a pause. Like
yes.
And for y'all that don't know, the song is called "In My Feelings," and like the song just got a real old school, real soulful type feel to it. It feels like nothing that you're hearing right now, and not that I want to compare it to what you're hearing right now, but just the message in it, the music in it, it feels like it speaks to your soul when you're listening to it.
Yeah.
So this is why we had to, highlight this joint, because it's just something that it felt good. You know how you get music that just feels good, like you have the music that your parents used to listen to. They said it was feel good music. Like you kind of get it, what they meant by that. The song just felt good when you listen to it. So
yeah,
appreciate that, man.
Who did the music?
It feel like Thanksgiving, man. It feel like Thanksgiving.
It does. Who did the music? Shout out to the producer.
Who produced E. Jones? So he's a part of Ninth's crew. You know what I'm saying? The Soul Council.
Okay.
He's done a couple of records, I think. For people in that camp, but me and E have been trying to get together for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? And actually, that track. The bones of the track, like there was some other things added, but the bones of the track, man, I've had that record for about 10 years.
Wow.
Before I wrote a lyric, I just sat on it, and it was initially for another project that I had called ESQ that I was working on, and that was like 3 albums ago. So we talking around 2012, 13. And then, I just started digging through my files, man, and I ran across that record again, and I'm like, oh yeah, this feels right. This feels right for right now for what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, E. Jones, man, salute to him. You know what I'm saying?
And what I loved about this record, as Brown was talking about the feeling and the vibe, the third verse, it's almost like you sat down with the therapist or something and started to open up. But at the same time, your flow sounded like you were speaking to a wider audience. Like the flow just turned into, it just hit me. And us coming from, me and Brown being artists that didn't continue rapping and understand what it's like to kind of break away from it on your own terms. It's just, it speaks to us so much, man. So I just want the flow you chose.
The flow was the flow change. After, setting apart the third verse and just setting it off that way, and it being so different from the first two, like it almost immediately grabs you. Like it grabs you immediately.
That third verse, again, we get inspiration from many things. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be audio, visual, what have you. But that third verse is funny because I was listening to Freeway's joint, even though what we do is wrong.
We did an episode on it. We
did an episode on that.
So he caught a pocket, you know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning. And so I'm listening to it, and then I go back and listen, because I'm not saying that the tracks are similar, but there's a certain pocket in that record that I heard in this record, and I said, I'm gonna catch that.
Talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I love that you saluted him because the pockets are similar.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's
Here's
really
what happens
dope.
when you're not from that culture, so you're part from pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I caught the pocket.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope right there.
Well, let's talk about those lines. This is what happens when you're not from that culture, so you part from pop culture. Now the fans say you over, then your fam says you over.
Ooh.
That's typically the order it goes in too. That's typically the order it happens in. The fans say you over, then the fam say you over.
Yep. Then so you know it's kind of self-explanatory, but you know it was me realizing that I wasn't from that culture, like being in it for a minute. You know what I'm saying, and running into people and going to these parties and you know what I'm saying, like me and my people was always different from what was in these buildings, what was in these circles. Like we would come in there. This is okay. So you talking, you know, 96, 97, 98. This is pre, you know, going to the party and you buying out and you getting a table and you getting nigga, we at the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Those are bar days.
You know what I'm saying? And we, you know what I mean? And you, what you drinking? What you drinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we in there like that. And people looking at us like, yo, aren't y'all supposed, y'all got a hit record out? Aren't y'all supposed to be, you know, where's your bodyguard? Like we ain't do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We were living our dream. You know what I'm saying? We were living, you know, we were in a space that we always, you know, worked hard at it and thought about getting to, and now we here. And we didn't believe, like we didn't front, like this is who we are and what we doing. So when you figure out that this culture ain't about that, you know what I'm saying, and that's when they start noticing that, oh, they ain't trying to play this game and they ain't trying to do it this way. You know, maybe we showed them too much. Maybe we gotta weed these niggas out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens when you're not from that culture. So you part from pop culture. We talking about pop culture. Now the fans say you over because you're not a part of that culture. Then your fans say, well, damn, you ain't popping no more. So let's separate out, you know, like you can't do nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then you think you're blackballed, you're not, you know what I'm saying? So your income is down.
How I feel when them calls slow down, man. When them messages don't, you know, don't get returned as fast.
It's rough. It's rough from an ego perspective. Again, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, all of this is ego based. You know what I mean? So your ego is just like, damn, oh, y'all don't love a nigga no more. Y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't hitting my phone up talking about, yo, where we going to next or where we hanging out, or you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Trey, you know what I mean? So, you know, your ego is like, damn, it was cool. It was all good just a week ago, right? You know what I mean? But again, I have to keep stressing that it's all ego. It's my ego. You know what I'm saying? Saying that, you know, y'all gotta love me. Why y'all don't love me no more? And it ain't even about that. You know what I mean? So, but that's what it was. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. You know, my ego couldn't handle it at the time. So I had to do some reevaluating. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a part of that growth.
Indeed.
Okay, now you think they blackballed you because the income's been altered and promoters stop calling now. Circle gets smaller. Yeah.
See, they don't check up on you because you got
nothing to offer. You put your last $7 in the
offering. Now, okay.
Yeah.
So let's stop there.
The Lord's willing to barter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're praying that the Lord's willing to barter. How about that? Think about that. You want to barter with the Lord.
With my last $7.
With my last $7. Yeah, with my last $7.
So because I have nothing to offer, because I really got down to my last $7. You know what I'm saying? And I've told this story a million times, and I love telling it 1,000,001 times. Like I really literally got down. I moved down to Atlanta with my brother. You know, I was you know, my mom taught me a lot about economics, so I was able to sit on, you know, a nice little stack, but then the stack runs out when you're not regenerating. You know what I'm saying? So we get down to the last $7, and I could either go buy a meal, but then after that, it's a wrap. Or, you know, I'm a very spiritual cat. And when, you know, a lot of times I think a lot of us think we can figure this thing out ourselves, and we can't. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of situations that a lot of us have been in, and I think ego-based again, we think that we got ourselves into or out of these situations by ourselves. Right. There's something else working in your favor or not in your favor. You know what I'm saying? That you have no control over. You can make a decision to go a direction, but the end result, there's always something behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I went to, you know, as a symbolic gesture and as a prayer, as a token of faith. Lord, here's my last 7. Let me put it in the plate. You handle it, because I can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? I tried. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? So that's where the bartering came from with the Lord. You know what I mean? Because I have nothing to offer these people with just $7 because they looking for something else. They looking for the fame and the fortune that I once had. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it. So I'm going to barter with you. What do you do with this 7? Because they don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Because your credit can't collect another bill like the Carters. I think that one.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay my automobiles? Can you?
And they're billionaires.
And they're billionaires.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna slice and dice.
And they're billionaires. Man. Yeah. And this is what we love about these type of lines and these type of bars is the same way you kind of gave that symbol, like it goes over some people's heads. People will skip right by that. And there's a duplicate meaning in that. But people will hear that, see that, and be like, what do you mean another bill like the Carters? They got it. They can afford to pay whatever bill they want. No, one of the Carters had a song called Bills, Bills, Bills. But they're also billionaires. So there's a bill. But again, these are things this is why we're here, my brother.
Thank you.
And this is why we're here to salute you, and we want to give you these flowers for this type of crafted artwork, because again, everything ain't for divine ears. So it takes some real understanding and or an extensive vocabulary and or a good comprehension of the English language to be able to put this kind of stuff together and or for somebody to comprehend it. So listen, man, this is what we're here for, my brother.
First of all, I want to hire you as my representation because but you know how I know we're like joined at the hip per se, because on one of the clips I just saw on your IG when you were talking about the Wayne lyrics and you was like talking about the kennel and the bungalow, and you said something that I swear I was cracking up because it sounded like something I would say. You was like, you know, meager accommodations. I was like, you know what that, you know,
meager accommodations.
What you know about meager accommodations?
I said, B, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Hit him with that.
I almost forgot I was here in a domestic capacity, man.
Yo, that was crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. This verse spoke to me. I know you probably don't know my whole story, but I was signed at one point.
Yes.
And when I just saw, heard the word blackball, because people think you're blackballed. And that was something that I dealt with. A lot of people thought I was blackballed, and I have to explain to people, like, blackball is not necessarily, it's not a fake thing, but it's not a real thing where the industry is like, no, we're not letting you in. Like, that's how it works. What I had was one person people were afraid of. It was Jay-Z. It was like they thought that Jay-Z didn't want to sign me, so that made them scared of messing with me.
Talk about it, Shaq.
But it's a higher power at work, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and blame the industry, blame a man, blame a person. Like, you talk about your kids and your wife, like, the life that we are living as adults is beautiful. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So hearing, like, income getting altered, like, I lived it. I moved to Atlanta as well. I just stayed here. But there was a time I had to go become a substitute teacher. There's a documentary called Sherrod about it. I had to become a substitute teacher.
Amazon Prime.
Yes. And I had to shed this ego of the guy that used to get in the clubs for free and that had, women on speed dial, and had never introduced myself as Mr. Williams and then Coach Williams. And kids found out I rapped and they were laughing at me. And this is not about me. This is just about my connection to the words and how your words, people can find a point in them that it speaks to them in their own experience, and it's deeper than just music. So I salute you, brother, for finding the vulnerability within you to put these words out there. And I want to let you know that they're being received. And thank you.
Nah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. And a matter of fact, you just reminded me of a story similar to that. When I moved to Atlanta, I had to go work for a company called Aaron's, furniture company.
Yeah, I know Aaron's.
Yeah, I know Aaron. You know, I know Aaron.
I'm a boy.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm moving furniture now. You know what I mean? This is after having a record all on BT and all that. And so I'm moving this cat's furniture in. And then, you know, he's sitting there and he's looking at me. And lo and behold, I walk in there. This is crazy. The theme is on BET at the time.
Wow.
Nope. No.
What is it?
Lie?
I promise you.
Wow.
And I'm like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm moving the furniture in, and the boy's looking, and he's like, yeah, just put it over there. Put the couch over there.
Yo.
He's looking at the joint. Then he happens to just sit back, and he looks at me.
Nah.
And then he said,
I'll be like, nope.
But he's smoking an L at the time. He's like,
yeah.
So then he goes back in and he goes back to the TV. And he looks up at me. Looks at the TV, looks at me and say, hold up. Wait a minute, hold up. What the hell are you doing in here, man? I'm looking at you in the joint. So what I did was I sat right next to him on the couch. I was like, you mind if I'm going to tell you what happened. Like, matter of fact, pass me the L. So
bring some weed. I got a story to tell.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, what happened was blase blah. And then after I told him the story and all that, he was like, yo, you the realest nigga I ever met in my life. You sitting on the couch smoking with me and your video on the joint, and now you moving furniture. This is crazy. I said, yeah, man, this is what it is. So, you know, it goes back to what you were talking about, you know, understanding that, again, all ego based, but you got to pivot. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's been in this game or about to get in this game, you got to understand there's less than 1% of the cats that's in this game right now, right, that are successful or deemed successful. I put that in air quotes because what does success look like? Success looks like to you, you know, they're millionaires, they got all of this money and they moving around with these cars and they traveling and da. But how many people have gotten signed and have came and went? Far more than the people that made it. So you're going to have to learn how to pivot at some point. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what that was about. You know what I mean?
Man.
Oh, what a blessing, man. What a blessing. Was it on me? Yeah.
But you still move forward, get chills from the trauma. It's a moment of reflection, but it feels far from karma. So maybe the rejection means you need time to ponder, but then the artistry within the track to give it room to breathe before you rephrase
pause,
it.
Right?
Right. You know what I mean? Like the pregnant pause. To like actually give you time to ponder. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. Let me get back to you.
Y'all catching it. You catching it. You catching it.
Listen, man. And then you get right back to it. When you get rejected, it means you need time to ponder.
That's when you get
fitted. That's when you get fitted for your shield and your armor.
A lot of different ways he could have said that, right?
A lot of different ways. A lot of different ways you could have
getting fitted for your shield and your armor.
Listen. But what you don't realize is that's what you're getting in that time to ponder. That's what you're getting fitted for. In that time that you're taking to sit back and try to figure out why rejection looks like this and why it's not working out the way it planned in your mind. You're reassessing, you're reevaluating. So in that time you're taking to ponder, you're getting fitted up. Okay, he's getting it now. Now it's making sense to him now. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah. When God says no, you know, that rejection that we get is like walking in the fitting room. You know what I'm saying? Like now you getting your chest fitted, you know, and it feels crazy. It hurts. It hurts going through these times that you have to ponder and you sit in that silence and you look in the mirror and you don't blame anyone. Like I chose these outcomes. I chose
these outcomes.
Where I am. And then you have to think, wow. Like you're looking over there, like, yo, he made it. He like, I thought I wanted to make it. Yeah. Right. So what is my higher self calling toward, like calling for me? You know what I'm saying? Like these are all this is what I got from these bars, right?
Yeah.
You're getting fitted for this suit and this armor because, you know, what you going through, you gotta be ready, you gotta be protected.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, I'm telling y'all catching everything, like from the ponder to the. Okay, let me think about this for a minute. So that whole pause in the record or pause in my verses was that. It was the symbolism of I had to pause in real life. I had to pause and think about it. You know what I'm saying? But even right before that, and I say, what I say, it's a moment of reflection.
Yeah, yeah.
But it feels far from karma. Karma, you see what I'm saying? Karma is a reaction to, you know, it's basically whatever you throw out there, it gets to come back to you.
So you feel like you didn't deserve that. When you look at that reflection, you didn't feel like this the karma that you deserve.
Right. It feels far from
the
negative. It's a moment of me thinking about, damn, what, you know what I'm saying? So y'all just captured y'all tied that up in a nice little box bowl and just packaged it to the audience of exactly what I was feeling when I was writing that record, when I was writing those particular bars. You know what I'm saying?
Because we've lived it. We've lived it, especially when you feel like you're a good person. And I missed that. I meant to speak about the whole far from karma thing. And that's part of it. That's part of doing what you think you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? You did it the right way. You didn't shit on anybody. You didn't do anything crazy. You talked about what was authentic to you. And yet still it didn't work out the way you thought it would. And you see others who may not have the same, you know, same karmic debt. Like you like, oh, he wilding. Like this guy's talking about foolishness. Like, how is that happening?
Yeah, that's crazy.
All of that stuff is part of that time that you take to ponder. And it's a lot, man. Like you put a lot into these just bars right here.
What happened to B? Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. You was spinning for a second.
Yeah, I was spinning. They spinning.
Nah, but y'all caught all of that. Y'all caught all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. Like I said, man, we had to hone in on one because we'd have been here for a minute, man.
Yeah, we'd have been here for a while.
Yeah, but to say now built for the Contras, the will of Black Mamba. I'm bringing intangible along with entendres. I love the use of those polysyllabic words right there.
Woo! Yes, I got them again. That's what I'm talking about with bigger accommodations. Say that again.
Just because as an artist, you know, it's one thing, and me and Brown was talking about this earlier with what we do. It's, you know, we could sit here and break down entendres and lines and flows and throw out all these literary terms. But there's something intangible about what we do where we talk about the emotion behind it. It's kind of color commentary. Mm-hmm. So as an artist, as being bigger than life, you bring an intangible along with what you do with the pen. And these songs and these flows and your charisma is all part of that. So yeah, I was just speaking to that. But like you said, I rap what I feel. I push appeal.
You follow it up with an entendre. I rap what I feel. Push appeal like Big Pharma.
Yeah. And I mean, some of these I think people should get, but you know, if they don't get the push appeal like Big Pharma, that's just so much in that.
Appeal, but push appeal like Big Pharma. Like y'all get that, right?
But they should.
Okay, if y'all don't.
But then you can tie appeal to the intangible, right?
Right. Appeal. I push appeal. Like I don't.
Yeah.
What I push is appeal, but it's I also push appeal like Big Pharma. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
just laugh anyway. Y'all figure it out when y'all get home. That's okay.
Yeah. And like you said, the fact that I'm skilled is just part of the ensemble, which again speaks to
intangible.
The intangible along with the entendre. The entendres are just they're gonna be there regardless, right? The skill is there.
They live here.
That's just part of what I do. And I mean, listen.
I love this film. Y'all got me hyped right now, man. I love this. Y'all hitting every point. Y'all getting it.
Yeah, man. You deserve these, brother.
Yeah, you deserve these. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, this again, this for me personally, this is the type of situation or the type of conversation that I need to have, because sometimes I promise you, I'll be sitting up there and I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna do it anyway, but
who's gonna get it?
People are gonna
right. Who's gonna get this?
I'm gonna do it anyway. But,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is nothing but confirmation. Like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing here. I'm doing it.
Absolutely. And on the low, as we continue to gain popularity, we're gonna not only enlighten people, but we're gonna affect artists in their pen, and this writing well may become a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we can bring that back.
That's the goal. So
like I said, thank you. The goal is this is the evolution of the 5 mics in the source, or the hip hop quotable in the source. You want to be featured on No Bars Off. So
that's a fact.
That's
I'm coming. Hey man, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Y'all giving me motivation. I'm like, I got
And then you finish it off with the ill. So it's either I develop a thick skin or watch.
Wait, hold on. You missed the
okay. So most of y'all been fooled by the numbers, but I salute to those who notice beyond humble. The folk who be putting folk on notice beyond humble. The moment that I wrote each opus, but y'all be fronting though. Yeah, they do be fronting. They do be fronting. They be fronting. But again, it's kind of a state of where the game is. You know, people see numbers and people think that translates to skill or, you know, ability to actually write and or, you know, again, they let numbers do the talking as opposed to their pen. So and half the time their pen ain't theirs. So when you add that to the equation, but yeah, you know, you salute to those who've noticed, and I would hope that we're in that crowd because
for sure. and I'm beyond humble. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But then let me get on my shit and say the flow be putting folk on notice beyond humble.
Beyond humble.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna humble myself. I'm telling you the pen is nice. Now, you know what I mean? Since y'all don't recognize it, let me tell you then. You know what I'm saying?
We caught that you said it different the second time. Like
exactly.
Beyond humble.
Like, but then it's now I'm beyond humble. So, exactly.
All right, get to them last bars, because this is where he started showing off.
Yeah, this is wow. So let's either develop a thick skin or watch my life spiral like pigskin. So this pen, has challenged the system. It came out of linchpin. Man, listen, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
I feel like he had like 8 more.
What are you trying to do?
I feel like he had 8 more, but because of Angeletti's training and realizing the nature of
he could see Angeletti on the other side, like, come on, wrap this up, wrap this up. This is it right here.
Wrap it up, Trey.
Listen.
You've done enough.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, they've had enough. Come on, throw the towel. Throw the towel.
But
so for the viewer, go ahead. So break, first of all, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to steal your thunder, right?
No, you're not.
No. I want y'all to break that segment down for the people, please.
Listen.
Okay.
That was the line. We was driving. We was on our way to the bank.
Yeah.
we
heard that. We was like, oh, wait.
And we both said, oh, wait.
We were like, wait, what happened?
After all you went through, develop a thick skin, and then you didn't wait till the end of the bar to rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you did the whole spiral like pigskin, and that
and then didn't stop there.
But hold on.
Another rhyming ball on it.
Just because, you know, I don't think people know. Well, they shouldn't. A pigskin, a football, spiral. Right. So
life spiral
like pigskin.
Life spiral out of control.
So those are the choices, though. Think about those choices.
Yeah.
It's either develop a thick skin or watch my life spiral like a football.
Listen. And
it doesn't wait.
It doesn't.
Doesn't wait to rhyme again. So this pen.
Like, wait.
Yeah. As a result,
listen,
this pen has challenged the system.
And kept it going, the system, but to come out of linchpin, listen, bro. To come out of linchpin, like to come out and see yourself as the main cog in the system. Like, come on, bro. Madness. This is madness.
And yeah, and see, that's what when I sent you guys the verse, that was the because I kept going through verses because Shy had asked me like, yo, you can't, you know what, you funny too, because you was like, yo, come on, man, you can't, nobody wants to pick that verse, you can't pick the verse. I was like, okay,
everybody kept telling us, yo, you gotta have the whole thing is dope. Everybody be like, yo, the whole thing. I'm like, listen, man, I write rhymes. I know that there's certain songs that I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain songs that I'm like, yo, I want y'all to talk about these bars. Right? So
and that was the defining bar. Like those bars, that setup was the defining, like that one over, because I had other joints where it was, there's a lot of bar work in it, a lot of metaphors, entendres, all of that. But it was kind of like I was trying to find something that could tell a story, could give people a brief synopsis of me and my career, personally, professionally, give you some insight on how I felt. But then the way that joint ended up, that segment was the defining thing that said, okay, this kind of wraps up everything that I'm trying to accomplish and encompass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because you got the, you know what I mean? You got the metaphor, you got the entendre, you got the syllable word, the structure, the flow, all wrapped up into that. And it creates a conversation.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was in. And when like I said, I'm a fan of your show. So it was like, okay, I got to get them with something, because they break down bars and they're not playing around. So we got to give them something that's going to have some meat and potatoes on it. You know what I'm saying? And so,
the fact that you just said that's what you was trying to accomplish and encompass and use them like just seamlessly like that was beautiful. I just throw that out.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Coming from wordsmiths is such a disgrace. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way you sum this up, like, and it's interesting how you use like 5 rhyming words or phrases with thick skin, pigskin, this pen, system, linchpin, and then you rhyme the last half a bar with itself, no feelings involved. I leave it all in the song. You kind of went away from it, which kind of speaks to your D-dot training, where you didn't want to overkill with that phrase in that rhyme scheme that you had used. Which, we were kind of thirsty for more, but at the same time, we were like, it was perfect.
It was perfect.
Y'all gonna make me throw this bottle. You know why? Because again, y'all nailed it. Like,
look at this fool.
because okay, so it's almost like y'all are MCs. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to be predictable, right? So y'all thought that, and I'm thinking in my head I could, and it would come off beautifully. It would come off, nobody would notice. But inside I'm thinking, nah, I just ran all of these joints off right here, and the name of the song is called My Feelings, and I just want to leave whatever my feelings are right here in this song. You'll never hear me talk about it, so to speak, unless we're doing an interview. I won't be all on my IG talking about, yo, I guess they did me 30, anything that I got to express, unless we're talking about an interview, or I'm going to leave it in the song. So it was just like, I got everything off that I wanted to, and now with no feelings involved, I'm going to leave it all right here. Boom. And that was it. So I just felt like, ending it, not in a predictable way, but staying within the framework of what, I'm trying to accomplish and what the song is about. I thought that was the perfect, and then especially coming off with the singing, sample hook. You know what I mean? It flows seamlessly into that. You know what I'm saying?
Segue into that.
You did it. You did it.
Yeah, you pulled it off, man.
Thank you, man.
You did it.
I'm excited, man, because this is, I mean, you can't really imagine what we were like in college, just budding young artists trying to.
Oh, I could. I was there. I was the same. Well, we the same people, man.
But we picked the wrong school because how it was.
Yeah, we clearly picked the wrong school.
It was an hour and a half from greatness.
I was right there. Y'all was right there.
It was right there. Crazy.
Nah, man, but you know what? I find that with, especially casting with the HBCUs, man, it's really the identical environment. You know what I'm saying? That, we all had, crews. We all, at least the people that I've talked to that were trying to get into music. You worked at the radio station that was up on the campus, and you all had your crew that you ciphered at, and you all we all threw parties, and we all, you know what I'm saying? Like
pretty much our life.
That's the experience. That's the experience. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's what I want to be like moving forward, especially, as we, become more seasoned. It's like we need to be the spokespeople for these type of environments, for these type of situations, because I think there's an audience here, but we have to figure out how to penetrate. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like how to galvanize these listeners. You know, right?
You don't got a flag on the plate, bro.
I said pause, Joe.
Nah, I know.
No, but that was nice. I like that. But there's an audience here, man.
Absolutely.
Nah, that's what we doing, man. And I thank you because it's so early in our journey that you respect. We don't have 100,000 subscribers and all that yet. So it's great that you value us at this stage, and we thank you so much for giving us a shot to talk to you.
Nah, man, I'm here for it, brother. I'm an advocate of this, man. Y'all need to keep pushing. Whatever I can do, you know what I mean? Let me know, bro. I'm here.
We're gonna keep going. Before we let you get out of here, I want to talk about that IG you sent me with you. Was it Gene that was talking about the commission?
Yeah.
So what was your name on some paperwork for the commission?
Okay, so I was just talking to Dot today, as a matter of fact, and he was just up on, Math Hoffa, right? And they would, Math Hoffa, Nori, they like to bring me up for some reason a lot. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to Big. So they were talking about that, and he had mentioned to them, like it's sometimes, and I get it. People speak very opinionated and with a lot of emotion on opinions, like just because don't have the facts, don't have no truth to nothing they saying, is just all opinionated. So, Dot had to set him straight on a lot of things. And one of the things that he mentioned was that I was supposed to open up for this tour, like, what I'm saying, this big tour. And so what I sent you was the name of the people that were on that tour. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, this is the part that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about the contracts that were involved. And I didn't even know, what I'm saying, that they were, I knew Mark had, some say because he managed Big and I was his artist and he was trying to get me on that bill. But I didn't know how much of an impact or how much of a how involved I was going to be. Like, later on, and this is recently, I'm hearing things like, as they're working on a project, I'm supposed to be on a couple of records. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. So this is all 20 years later. I knew nothing of the sort during the time. I knew me and Big were developing a rapport. You know what I'm saying? And we had a lot of conversations about, what his plans were, moving forward, after he got out of his contractual obligation, and what him and had planned on doing, you know what I'm saying, from movies to the clothing line, the Brooklyn Mint clothing line, all this other kind of stuff. But as far as, me and where I, what the plans were as far as the situation with the music, all of this came out in the wash later on. And so I'm figuring, that's what I'm saying. Rumor has it I'm being recruited for the commission because I'm hearing all this stuff later. I'm like, what? Is that what was going on? You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, though.
That's dope. Dope to find out.
Yeah. But it goes back to validation. It goes back to the ego and the validation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. Because I don't know, like I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but even me getting signed, that is the one that told Mark. But Mark would listen to the demos with Big in the car. And Big was the one, because Mark is looking, for confirmation. Should I sign this dude or what? I know Dot is telling me that, but Big is in the car like, no, your man is nice. Again, confirmation. So that's where the whole, okay, now I want to do, let's do a record together. You know what I mean? It wasn't just because Nazi Blah, this is months, into it before I even got signed. He's listening to my records in early 96, end of 95. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah. It's
things could have been different,
Man, listen, it could have been way different. But we are where we are because this is where we're supposed to be.
This is where we're supposed to be.
Exactly. Absolutely, man. Yo, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. And look, real quick, this has been such a blessing. But before I let you go, I got to tell you a little short, quick story. I met your sister back in maybe 99. I came down here. My grandmother was living out here. I came down here to register my truck in Georgia. I didn't want to pay New York taxes. Came down here to register my truck. Sess's god sister was your sister's roommate. Wow. Me, my roommate, my brother, and my cousin, homeless college children roaming around trying to find somewhere to stay. They let us stay with them, just being nice.
Wow.
Just randomly.
Yo, this is a small world, man.
Very small world.
I sent him a picture of his pops with Z, with my wife.
With Z, how crazy is that?
At homecoming. I was like, yo, you know this guy? He said, yo, that's my pops.
I'm done. That's over with, man. I'm done.
I got to get down there, man. We got to.
Yeah, man.
I got to get down. Man.
Absolutely, you got to get down there.
True.
In degrees of separation for not for us next time I touch the soil, man. And we get down and we hang out, man.
Let's do it.
And we gotta get the Slutty Vegan sponsorship too. So
absolutely. Hey man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it,
bro. Let's talk about it because we love it. We get a whole lot. It wouldn't be fake at all.
Real rap.
Yes, man.